History remembers heroes. Those who charge into battle facing danger head-on. Those who lead with unwavering courage, inspiring others to follow. But what about the quiet heroes? The ones who act without seeking glory. The ones who prevent catastrophe unseen, unheard. Their actions often go unnoticed. This is the story of Vasili Arkhipov, a Soviet naval officer. An unassuming man with a profound impact. He carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, making decisions that would alter the course of history. And he saved us all. October 1962. A time of immense tension. The world held its breath, teetering on the brink of disaster. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a standoff between superpowers, threatened to ignite nuclear war. The stakes were unimaginably high. The fate of humanity hung by a thread. Every decision was critical. And that thread, it turned out, was held by Vasili Arkhipov. His calm and reasoned judgment averted a global catastrophe. The Cold War, a time of tension, distrust. The United States and the Soviet Union locked in a nuclear standoff. Then came Cuba, a communist nation, a Soviet ally. In 1962, the Soviets placed nuclear missiles on Cuban soil, a direct threat to the United States. The world watched in fear. President John F. Kennedy addressed the nation, his voice grave, the threat real. The US Navy established a blockade around Cuba. Soviet ships approached. The world held its breath. Was this it, the beginning of the end? Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a different kind of tension brewed. Soviet submarine B-59 lurked near the blockade line. Cramped quarters, oppressive heat. The air thick with anticipation and fear. The crew on high alert. They knew the stakes. Then contact. US destroyers surrounded B-59. Depth charges exploded nearby. The submarine shook. The lights flickered. Inside, chaos. Panic. The captain, Valentin Savitsky, believed war had begun. He prepared to launch a nuclear torpedo. One man's descent. Archipov's stand. In the midst of the Cold War, tensions were at an all-time high. The world teetered on the brink of nuclear annihilation. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, aboard a Soviet submarine, a critical decision was about to be made. But there was a problem. The submarine had lost contact with Moscow and was being bombarded by American depth charges. The crew believed that war had already begun. Protocol required the consent of all 3 senior officers to launch a nuclear weapon. 2 were ready. Arkhipov was not. He argued against it. He pleaded for reason. The tension unbearable. The other officers were convinced that launching the nuclear torpedo was the only way to survive. The fate of the world resting on his decision. Arkhipov knew that a single misstep could lead to catastrophic consequences. The weight of the world was on his shoulders. Surrounded by pressure, by fear, Arkhipov stood his ground. He was resolute, unwavering in his belief that launching the weapon would be a grave mistake. He refused to give his consent. His refusal was not just an act of defiance, but a stand for humanity. He knew the stakes were too high. He argued that they had no confirmation of war. Without clear evidence, launching a nuclear weapon would be reckless and irresponsible. That launching a nuclear weapon would be an act of aggression. It would escalate the situation beyond control, leading to a full-scale nuclear war, an escalation with unimaginable consequences. Thanks to Archipov's courage and wisdom, the world was spared from a potential nuclear disaster. His stand remains a testament to the power of reason and the importance of individual courage in the face of overwhelming pressure. A legacy of peace, the world that almost wasn't. In the tense moments of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Captain Savitsky faced immense pressure. Eventually, he relented. He surfaced the submarine, B-59, bringing it out of the depths. The world breathed again. The crisis was averted, narrowly escaping a catastrophic event. But the world didn't know how close it had come to annihilation. The brink of nuclear war was a reality that few understood at the time. The tension was palpable, and the stakes were unimaginably high. How close it came to a nuclear holocaust. The buildup of nuclear arms was a constant reminder of the fragile peace that hung by a thread. Vasili Arkhipov, the quiet hero, returned home. His story, largely untold, remained in the shadows. Yet his decision on that fateful day was pivotal. His actions, unknown to the world he saved. The people went about their lives, unaware of the silent guardian who had stood between them and disaster. But his legacy lives on, a testament to courage, to reason. His bravery serves as a reminder of the power of individual action in the face of overwhelming odds, to the power of one man to stand against the tide and say, no. In a world teetering on the edge, it was the resolve of one man that made all the difference. His legacy is a beacon of hope and a lesson in the importance of standing firm for peace.